The story begins with a haunting yet powerful scene. In the darkness of night, Queen Sivagami flees from the royal palace of Mahishmati, carrying in her arms an infant wrapped in silk. Her body is pierced with arrows, blood staining her royal robes, yet her willpower is stronger than her wounds. Behind her, enemy soldiers pursue, their torches lighting up the banks of the mighty river. Reaching the edge of the waters, Sivagami kneels. With her last ounce of strength, she raises the child high above her head, whispering a silent prayer to the gods. The river swells around her, and as she sinks beneath its current, the baby remains afloat, held above the waters by her lifeless hands, until villagers discover and rescue him. This child grows to be Shivu, raised by a humble tribe at the foot of a towering waterfall, far away from the kingdom he was destined to rule. Shivu grows into a strong, curious, and restless youth. Fascinated by the towering waterfall that shields his village, he dreams of what lies beyond it. Time and again, he tries to climb its sheer face but fails. His mother, fearing the dangers above, prays to Lord Shiva to bind her son's destiny below the mountain. Yet fate is unyielding. One day, a wooden mask falls from the heavens above the mask of a warrior. Entranced, Shivu imagines the face behind it and feels compelled to climb. With unmatched determination, he finally scales the impossible waterfall. At the summit, he discovers a new world, lush with forests and warriors preparing for battle. It is here that he meets Avanthika, a fierce fighter belonging to a secret rebel group determined to rescue Princess Devasena, who has been imprisoned for 25 years by King Balaladeva. Though Avanthika initially rejects Shivu's advances, his persistence, strength, and unshaken devotion win her heart. Learning of her mission, Shivu declares that he will fulfill it for her. Disguised, Shivu infiltrates Mahishmati, a sprawling golden kingdom ruled with an iron fist by Balaladeva. On the grand platform of the palace, Devasena is paraded in chains, her face hardened by years of injustice, but her spirit unbroken. In a breathtaking sequence, Shivu storms the palace, defeating Balaladeva's mighty warriors with unimaginable skill. He breaks Devasena's chains, standing tall with her before the shocked masses. The people whisper in awe he looks exactly like the late Prince Amarendra Bahubali, their once beloved ruler. Among the crowd stands Katappa, the loyal commander of Mahishmati's army. His eyes widen as he beholds Shivu, for the young man is the mirror image of Amarendra. At this moment, the tale of the past begins to unfold. Katappa narrates the history of the kingdom. Years earlier, the great Queen Mother Sivagami raised two princes. Amarendra Bahubali, son of the late king, noble, wise and beloved by the people. Balaladeva, her own son, ambitious, envious and driven by the hunger for absolute power. Both trained in war and statesmanship, they grew into fierce warriors, but their natures were different. Amarendra's compassion made him the people's champion, while Balaladeva's ruthlessness alienated him. When the savage Kalakaya tribe waged war against Mahishmati, Sivagami declared that whichever prince led the army to victory would be crowned king. In the monumental battle, Baladeva's brute force slaughtered many, but it was Amarendra's courage, strategy, and mercy toward both his soldiers and his enemies that inspired triumph. The people roared his name, and Sivagami, moved by his nobility, declared Amarendra Bahubali king. Balaladeva, though outwardly calm, swallowed his bitterness, vowing to one day usurp the throne. As king, Amarendra traveled across his lands disguised as a commoner, learning the struggles of his people. During this journey, he encountered Princess Devasena of Kuntala, a radiant yet fierce warrior princess. Their playful banter blossomed into deep love. Meanwhile, Sivagami, unaware of this romance, arranged Devasena's marriage to Balaladeva. When the truth surfaced, Amarendra defied his mother's wishes, marrying Devasena and vowing to stand by her side. Sivagami, blinded by Balaladeva's manipulations, began to doubt Amarendra. She mistook his humility and selflessness as weakness, while Balaladeva and his father Bijaladeva sowed seeds of suspicion that Amarendra aimed to seize the throne. The kingdom's loyalty split. To the people, Amarendra was their rightful king. To the throne, Balaladeva was the favored heir. In a cruel twist, Sivagami, deceived by her own son's lies, ordered Katappa, the most loyal servant of Mahishmati, to kill Amarendra. Bound by his sacred oath to obey the throne above all else, Katappa faced the most tragic decision of his life. In the moonlight, Amarendra, unaware of the betrayal, fought alongside Katappa against assassins sent by Balaladeva. When the enemies lay slain, Amarendra, exhausted, turned his back in trust. Katappa, trembling, tears streaming down his face, drove his blade into the prince's back. Amarendra fell, whispering his final words with forgiveness in his eyes. The people's beloved king was gone. Devasena was imprisoned in chains, her newborn child secretly carried away by Sivagami in a last act of redemption. That child was Shivudu Mahendra Bahubali. The truth ignites Shivudu's soul. No longer just a village youth, he accepts his identity as Mahendra Bahubali, heir to the throne of Mahishmati. With Devasena by his side, and Katappa bound in loyal service, he rallies the oppressed masses against Palaladeva's tyranny. A mighty war erupts. Palaladeva, clad in black iron armor, unleashes the full fury of his armies. But Mahendra fights with the valor and spirit of his father, wielding his sword like destiny itself. The battlefield becomes a stage of fire and blood. Elephants roar, chariots crash, and Mahendra confronts Palaladeva in a duel of vengeance. At last, Palaladeva is chained, dragged before the pyre, and burned alive, a fitting end for the tyrant who destroyed his own bloodline for power. Peace returns to Mahishmati. In the grand palace courtyard, Mahendra Bahubali is crowned king. Beside him stands Devasena, finally free, her dignity restored. The people chant the name of Bahubali once more, their faith renewed in the just rule of the rightful heir. The saga closes where it began, on the promise of a kingdom built not on cruelty and ambition, but on righteousness, compassion, and sacrifice. The legend of Bahubali lives on, immortal, in the hearts of Mahishmati's people.